Hi, Revere, and welcome to our Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Patty Reardon. She lives in Revere. Her daughter was supposed to be here, but due to the fact that they closed the casino, she had to go down to Florida with the horses. And I'm sure, Patty, you could tell us more about that than I can. But first, let me welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you, Morris.
For coming on the show. Let's talk about your daughter now.
My daughter is a trainer. She's been coming here a number of years in Revere. We own a house in Revere, and she's been training horses there for many clients and some of her own. She comes here in the summertime. They usually stay until the beginning of November or mid-November, but due to the cancellation of the casino or not getting the bid in the casino in Revere, she had to move down to Florida and start picking up from scratch to see where she's going to go from here.
She's got the horses down at Florida. What track are they racing down there?
She'll race out of Gulfstream and Tampa, mostly Tampa, though.
Right. Now, when your daughter was here, she talked to me about the people working at the track, how it affected them. And
right.
How many people at that time, do you remember, before they closed the track down, were working at the Suffolk Downs?
Well, there was a lot of diehard people that supported the track and the idea of what was going to go on, and they were loyal to Suffolk Downs, and they came back this year. Few didn't because they couldn't afford it. But even though it was going to be a financial hardship, many of the trainers, the workers, grain people, truckers, everything, they came back with the hopes of that track getting the casino. There was approximately on the back side probably 800 people, 900 people, and the ones that worked at the track, there's probably about 400 or 500 people, I'd say, that work at the track.
And what about the vendors? How many vendors roughly were there that took care of it?
Well, the vendors that go into the horse racing business are, it's like a domino theory. There's many, many of them, from the hay and grain people to the truckers that bring the horses in and out and travel all over the United States with the horses and deliver them. Then you have the blacksmith and the people that, the dentists that float the horses' teeth. You have the farriers that change the shoes. You have the veterinarians, the well-educated veterinarians that are there that have made a career at Suffolk Downs.
Oh, the vets actually stayed there?
Yes, they do. The horses there get
even the
24-hour course. They have appointments, and the dentist will be there every day. There's a dentist there for them. And there's farriers every day. There's farriers there.
I've always been curious about this. You know, the horses they race and they have these steel shoes on. How often do they get changed, or not at all? Do they get?
They do. Approximately every 6 weeks from growth and from wear.
And who does that there?
The farrier does, and there's many farriers from all over Massachusetts that come in and work there. And then you have also the farmers that depended on the track for raising the horses and mass breds and the hay, and the people that work for them on the farms. And those farms also produce many of our produce and our poultry and beef and everything else. And they were directly hit by this.
Right. Now, all the hay that comes in for the horses has to be fresh? I mean,
yes, it does. It's most important that hay is not moldy or has no disease or bacteria that's on it, especially mold. It's bought from reliable sources all over the eastern seaboard.
And who was the company again that sold the hay at the track?
Dodge Grain. They do a magnificent job at Dodge Grain. They enable some of these small outfits to get up and running before they can win their first purse. You know, and they've done well by all the people at the track.
Years ago, before they built the shopping mall at the Suffolk Downs, Dodge Grain used to be with Stop and Shoppers in that area there, and I used to go down there and get the hay for the vegetable garden.
Oh, yeah.
Put it around here.
Yeah.
And when the horses would let go,
yeah,
I would get that and use that for fertilizer. Do they still do that, the people?
Yeah, there's a company that comes in and creates a mulch with all the leaves and everything that people in all the communities, when you have those leaf pickups,
they mix it with this. When they pick up every so often?
And that is mixed in with the manure, and then it's makes a fantastic compost. There's also a company that makes the pots that we have. We get tomato plants in and everything in the spring. They're made with a compost around it, so they're completely biodegradable, and they have the fertilizer right in it. So you just put the whole thing in, it dissolves and fertilizes at the same time. So it was a whole industry that was dependent upon that. Like I said, the domino theory goes far with the racetrack and how many people's paychecks and families depended upon it.
I got a good question for you. You travel with your daughter to Florida, back to Massachusetts. Excuse me. How does the track in Florida compare with the ones that we had at Suffolk Downs? Well, I hate to say the word had, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, there's still hope on that end, Morris. There's a couple of companies, and I also would like to see if, you know, Steve Wynn said that he would help and hire the people. Why don't Steve Wynn come over and invest in the track and run the track? If he is sincere about what he said, this is a new venture for him, and he seems like he is a gambling man. And this seems like something that he would do well with. And I'm sure with our new governor that we could arrange something done so that would save all these jobs for the people of Massachusetts. And maybe even the Gaming Commission could do where they have gambling and card games and slot machines in these facilities that they have. How about a sports book betting where they have in Vegas, where they bet on the different sports and everything? Put that right over in Suffolk Downs. They have the simulcast anyhow, so it would create a whole new little industry that people would go there to do.
Your daughter mentioned something to me that I liked, but I didn't understand it, so I'm going to ask you the question. Some of the money that goes to the track comes from other sources, like 6%. What is the other?
That comes from the slot machines that are going to be operating in Massachusetts. So the purses can finally come up to a livable level. The people that have been coming here with hopes of this casino opening up, that was their main hope, because the purses in Massachusetts are so small. Even when you win some of the races, you don't win. Just for the care of it.
How do they compare to the ones in Florida, let's say?
Oh, they don't even compare to the Florida's like 3-4 times more.
Which is one of the, if you know, you can answer that. If you don't, forget it. The best racing track in the country, if you could pick one, would it be the Kentucky Derby one?
Oh, there's so many wonderful tracks, but as far as atmosphere and loyalty of a track that's filled from the moment it opens up to the closes is Saratoga.
That's
up in New York.
Yeah,
right. People flock there from all over the country. And you know something, Suffolk Downs would be a good stopping off point, because they're only opened in August. So a lot of the horses, beautiful, expensive horses that are absolutely top athletes, could stop here, go up to Saratoga, race there for the month of August, then on their way back, stop here again. And then they could continue on their way.
Now you can answer my question that I have, which is good, because there's a lot of terrific horses.
Yes.
How does a horse get in to be picked to run in the Kentucky Derby? Because they say they run the best of the best. Now,
well, they do. It's hard to explain, because I'm not privy to all of it, but my understanding is when a horse is born, they put a nomination fee in, and all the horses that want to race in those particular stake races or anything have to be nominated. Yeah, they have to be nominated at birth practically, but I'm not familiar with every track and every nomination process.
See, the reason I asked that question, because you could have horses running in Belmont, you could have horses running in the Preakness, and then in the Derby itself.
Right.
But those horses that run in the Preakness and the Belmont, that run in the Derby, they've run 3 races. But some horses that don't run in the Belmont or the Preakness can still get into the Kentucky.
Right.
Which is not fair to the other 2.
But you know something, it's bragging rights. It's not any monetary thing. Oh, it is monetary if it's a male goes out to stud. But as far as that goes, to win all 3 is bragging rights, basically. And each race has its particularities of length and distance on it, and field. So if somebody comes in, says doesn't win the Derby and doesn't even race in the Derby, but goes into the Preakness and wins there, it's still the best against the best. So that horse that wins the Derby still has to be the best that wins at the Preakness. No matter who enters in and who doesn't, it still has to be the best against the best.
Right. Now, races is measured not in miles, not in feet, not in inches, furlongs.
Right.
What is a furlong?
I don't even know, tell you the truth.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but I know it's. I know you really when they talk about your horse in furlongs, they usually tell you how much you've been beaten by. So I don't want to hear that.
No, the reason I misunderstood furlong, see, when I heard the word furlong, I kept looking for horses with long fur. Excuse me. So you can see how ignorant I am when it comes to horses.
Oh, I know. The last time you went to the track, your house stayed in the gate.
He's still there, my horse.
Oh, he is.
I bet on him last year. That's good. No, like a furlong is so much of a mile, but I really don't know.
Right. I'm not familiar with all
Right.
the different terminology of it.
Something else. Is there a certain weight? Your daughter is very good at asking. I wish she
Oh,
was
I
here.
know. Wish she was here,
I wish
too.
she was here. But she could answer these questions. Is there any certain weight that a jockey has to be to get onto a
Yeah,
in
it
other
does.
words, there's a limit to what he can weigh?
Yeah, there is. There is a limit to what a jockey can weigh, and underweight too. If they're too much underweight, they will add weight to the saddles.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not into that exact thing, but there is a weight criteria.
Yeah, the reason I asked that question, because one jockey could be heavy, which would slow down the horse,
Correct.
while the other one could be light, which would speed up the, well, I mean,
Right.
it would go fast.
It's
So they have to
exhausting.
be on equal weight, the
They
horses,
do.
when they go on?
Yeah, they really do have to be some sort of an equal weight.
Oh, so it'll be
Yeah.
an equal race.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, when they have the little horses, what do they call the little bit? The baby?
Foals? The foals. They're foals.
Yeah, how
Their
does-
first year, they're foals.
Oh.
And then after the next year, they're yearlings.
Yep. Can they tell right off the get-go that they're going to be racehorses?
No. No, you can have the most beautiful horse that ever was dropped to the ground, and you can just bring them right along and get them to 18 months, 2 years or so, and put them in that, and they'll just say, I think I'll go back to the barn. I'm not coming out of here.
Okay. By the way, I did want to say one thing. Suffolk, I think, started in 1935. I can't
Yeah.
remember, but somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But they had two terrific horses. Whirlwind, I believe, was one, and Seabiscuit was...
Oh, Seabiscuit started here.
You started at Suffolk?
Yeah, started at Suffolk Downs. It's the history that's connected with this. In fact, it mirrors some of what happened not too many years ago with the recession, where the Great Depression, to put people to work. They built that track in 60 days, and it kind of, when
That's
we were
right, the
going through
1930s.
this part, it kind of mirrored the same kind of economy that we were having at the time. And the state did a lot, and the federal government, I'm hoping they step in and do something else with grant money or float a bond issue or do something like I said, Steve Wynn, come on over. You said you can do it, let's see you.
Right. The thing I would like to appeal to Steve Wynn, instead of waiting 3 years for the casino to open, these people cannot wait 3 years. So maybe if you can make up the difference, what these people need to keep the track,
Sure.
that would be good. And then the rest you could give them a job in your casino.
Absolutely. Come over
Right.
there and we'll start racing. It's a new venture for him, and I think he's a sporting man.
He is.
I don't see why he wouldn't do it.
You know what hurts me? There was a lot of veterans working there. I spoke to a couple.
Tremendous
Yeah,
amount of
okay.
veterans.
One gentleman, your daughter told me, worked there, was it 30 or 40 years?
43 years.
Yep, 43 years.
Yeah, 43 years.
So even if he started, let's say, at 17, let's say he started, he would be 60 now. Very
Yeah.
few people are going to hire 60
Oh,
year
there's many people. There's people that are working there that are in their 80s. The track has been very good to all the people that are there. They took in all the people from Wonderland when Wonderland closed by a voting issue. It seems like the track has taken the brunt of this vote, the voting issue of closing the dog track, the institution of lotteries, now the casino. It just seems like that they've taken a lot of the full hit of the economic situation where things can just skyrocket off and make a ton of money elsewhere.
Yeah,
And they're forgetting about the people of Massachusetts. That's what they're forgetting about. Steve Wynn's not from here. He doesn't know how New Englanders work.
No. The thing I would like to say, Chip Tuttle, who was the CEO at Suffolk Downs, would have parties Mother's Day,
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving Day, without ever even thinking of a casino coming here. That's how he
Absolutely.
was to us. I remember when we first moved into Revere, I'm talking about myself, 50 some odd years ago, I mean, where I live across from Suffolk Downs, the Beatles were here.
Oh,
They
yeah.
used to have the flower shows here.
Oh, I remember.
And they had bands out there. I mean,
Right.
stars that would come out and sing. And
They can't do that anymore because the venues that have cropped up in the area, like you have them at the TD Garden now, so that they can't have those. Because a lot of people says, well, why don't they run bands and everything? The facility's not meant for that. Back in the day when the crowds weren't as big as they are now, they could do it, but not as is now. And Chip Tuttle and the whole people and management and the owners of Suffolk Downs have been amazing.
Chip Tuttle's assistant, Ed Lamoli.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm not sure. Yeah.
They were so good to us, and I hope they'll still be good to us.
What they've done for the Veterans Bike Run alone. Thousands of bikes came there and donated thousands of money to the Wounded Warrior
They had
programs.
the motorcycle runs over here.
And the amazing things, the money they've raised for charities, the money they give every year, they just write a check.
Right, but they never take credit for it.
Never.
Nobody ever knows what they do, but let me tell you, they do more by accident than some tracks do on purpose. I got to say that to them.
Absolutely. They've been wonderful. They've been wonderful to all the workers there. Like I said, they took in all the people from Wonderland. They found places for these. And these are people at retirement age. It made no difference. If they wanted to work, they found them a job. And the same thing with the people that work at the track. They've had many functions over there, cookouts and things like that for just the workers that are over. And the amount of Vietnam veterans there that work, that fit into that surrounding very comfortably, that no longer have a place to go.
Right.
It's really sad. And I'm hoping that it can be turned around.
I would like to take just 1 minute and thank Chip Tuttle and thank Ed Lamoli for all the things they did for me as a senior, because I'm part of the senior group, what you did for the seniors, what you did for the veterans, and what you did for the Revere. But one more thing I want to say, we had a Columbus Day Parade. We all lined up at Suffolk Downs. We had everything going out of Suffolk Downs, the East Boston Parade, the Revere Parade. So Suffolk Downs has done a lot. And they did all that before they ever even thought of a casino coming here.
Oh, yeah, they did. They've had things done over there since they didn't get the casino, with the autism run and things like that, and they didn't get the casino. They've just been a wonderful organization, and it goes to the credit of the owners, owners of Suffolk Downs. That's who it goes to.
There's one gentleman I would like, I wish the casino that come here. His name was Peter Schultz.
Oh, he's a wonderful gentleman.
Yeah, he came down to our senior center, brought stuff down for us, gave us things there. Not because they give us things, that makes them great. It makes them great because what they do for the community as a whole.
Oh, yeah. If the casino was to go over there, the average person would go there. I don't know about Steve Wynn's place, but everybody was welcome at Suffolk Downs, and that's what the atmosphere it's always been.
Well, Steve Wynn, I believe, used to live in Revere or still has.
That doesn't make any difference.
No, but anyway, Steve, if you're out there, help the people of Suffolk Downs because they'll help you later, I guarantee you, and it would be good for you and good for business, good for the community.
Yeah, open up that track.
And not only that, we have a terrific mayor here.
Oh, without a doubt.
Which I was getting to him. Mayor Dan Rizzo, who's working very hard, even though we didn't get the track to bring economic development into the city of Revere. And if you look around you outside, you can see what a beautiful, wonderful job they've done.
I'll tell you, it doesn't, he's done a job that no other person could do as far as getting the track in here. But that's what he does with everything he does. He does it with devotion and determination, and he's forthright. And he's been a wonderful mayor to the city of Revere, and he will continue to be a wonderful mayor.
He is, and not only that, he's a Navy veteran too.
Very good.
And that reminds me, thank you, Mayor Rizzo, you just reminded me of something. We give this to the veterans of the military. We also give them to the veterans of the community. And you are a veteran of the community,
thank you.
Patty, because you do things at the senior center, you help out at the things, you work in the kitchen. So this is for you from the Revere veterans and the city of Revere. Use it in good health.
Thank you very
much. And
much.
that represents our great country, the freedom of America is right on there. There's 50 stars on there.
Yes.
50 good freedom, 50 good states.
Yes. Thank you very much, Morris.
Yep. And what I would like to see, by the way, with the development of the casino, I live across from, a matter of fact, I'm in a butter because I live where Shaw's used to be. Shaw's, eventually, I hope they do something good there too.
Well, they're talking about
there's a place to park some horses.
Yeah, we'll park and we'll wait. We'll wait for it to open.
You know, and another thing, without joking around, you and I were talking about it before we went on the show. You know I like to feed the birds. When you drive by,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes you see me
Yeah.
feed them. All of a sudden, we got loads and loads and loads of pigeons, which we never had. And I asked you, where did they all come from? And they all used to live at Suffolk Downs?
Well, a lot of them did, but there's a lot of changing in the weather, and they go to wherever they can get a meal. So your house has been televised and talked about by all the stool pigeons, and so they've made their way to your house.
I hope they notify them change of address. No, sometimes you can't even get down the street.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the pigeons. And
Yeah, they'll go wherever they know there's a meal. And you
also,
feed them well.
You could tell some of them can't even get up off their bellies. Then we have, which I love, those cats that come around.
Beautiful cats.
Yeah. Oh, you mentioned something. I got to say this on TV. If you ever get a chance, Mr. Mayor, if you could just take and put a sign on Standish Road that says 20 miles per hour, because we do have school buses coming down there.
And children.
Remember that kid that almost got hit?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, because the car was speeding down there, and the sidewalks in the street are at the same plane. I thought for sure that kid was going to be out of here.
Fortunately and unfortunately, they repaved the road, and it gave the people that are heavy-footed a clear shot, and they're in mind to either get out and get to work or get home, and they've just been flying down that street. So many.
And the school buses go down there too.
Yeah, they do. So I think it is a school zone, a school area. I think 20 miles is appropriate for that area that's down there, because
especially for me, because I walk slow, so 20 miles would help me get across the street. You know? Well, you know, when you get old, you're not as fit as you used to be.
Oh, I know that.
Like when I was coming here, there was a turtle walking with me. You know, I looked down, I see the little turtle. I says, "Where are you going?" He says, "I'm going to the Shell station." Right across the street.
He waved.
Yeah, won't pull up in here. That's as high as I can lift it. So, Patty, you know, if there would be a future for Suffolk Downs, and there could possibly be a future, you know, sometimes things could work out for the better.
I always have hope.
What would you like to see if you were the owner of? If you were in Chip Tuttle's place?
I would like to see a world-class racetrack there and have a sports book betting lounge within there. And even if, say, Steve Wynn wanted to put some of his slots in there, he could do that. He could rent the space from Suffolk Downs and give them a percentage of whatever comes off.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, there's many, many things that could be done there, but it is perfect place for a world-class racetrack. And there's been so many new ones that have opened up because, unfortunately, some of the areas, a lot of them have closed down. It's not a dying industry. It's a changing industry. And it's changed. The face of racing has changed. And in order to keep up with it, you need to change too. And unfortunately, a lot of tracks didn't. But Suffolk Downs is in a unique position that, like I said, on the way to Saratoga and on the way back, it's in a unique position through its location to be a great, great racetrack. So put the sports book betting lounge in there and have Steve Wynn put some of his machines over there. I don't think it would make a difference to the Gaming Commission. As long as he's running it, he has the license, he takes care of the responsibility of it, it'd be perfect. You know, any money that comes in, or should I say any revenue, any revenue that comes in that goes to the state is better for the people of the state as a whole. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It really is.
See, and by the people being out of work, the 800 people that you mentioned,
they could hire them right back.
Either hire them right back, so they'd be contributing to the state instead of collecting from the state.
Oh, absolutely. Their payroll taxes would go right to the state.
Right.
And it's amazing what could be done in that location.
And I got to apologize to one gentleman out there. His name is Louis Cialone, I believe.
Yes.
He is the head of the union that used to be at Suffolk Downs. Louis, you did an excellent job in trying to get the casino here.
Absolutely.
And you did an excellent job coming on Revere TV8 and explaining it.
Yes.
And we hope to have you back here someday, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see why not. If they get it going there with so many options to maintain live racing, it would not only boost the economy, it would give the hopes of so many farmers throughout Massachusetts.
One quick question. What is your daughter's first name?
MC.
Letter MC or
Yes.
EMC?
MC.
Just MC?
Yes.
Why don't you say hello to MC down in Florida there, so when she sees us on TV? MC, I hope to say hello to you down there. And I hope you have a good time down in Florida.
I
We're
am
going to
safe.
coming into the winter up here, but you'll be coming into the spring down there.
Yes, true.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, what happens to the horses when the weather gets cold? I mean, up to what point can they run before? Have they
they
ever
can
run
run
on
up.
frozen ground?
Oh, yes. They used to have winter racing over in Suffolk Downs. Those barns were built for winter racing.
Oh.
They kept the horses nice and warm within those barns. They weren't open. They were closed-in barns, and it was really built. They raced all the time over there. So, it still could be done. Still can be done, Morris.
Let me tell you how this affected it. I used to go down by the Beachmont train station.
Yes.
The sub shop Domino's, which is on the fork of the road there. The people from Suffolk Downs would come in there and buy their sandwich.
Oh, absolutely.
The place would be not full, but pretty good packed. I go in there now, it's not like it used to be at all.
Right.
It's like people come in, but not because they lost all that crowd.
Yeah, that between the Wonderland and Suffolk Downs, they supported Revere, and they came from all over. And I remember going into Wonderland, and every bakery before Wonderland had opened, they'd have on all their breads and cakes.
Yep.
And everything. When Wonderland got out, it was all done because they'd stop before they went to the track, or they'd stop after they went to the track. They'd pick up fresh baked goods. They'd stop at the gas station to get fuel. They'd come and they'd eat out at the many fine restaurants that were in Revere. And the same things happen with Suffolk. It's taken every time you close a major industry, it takes a little bite out of the town or the city.
Right, Patty, I guess we have a minute and a half left, so I'm going to take
All
that.
right.
I want to say thank you for coming on here.
Thank
say
you,
hello
Morris.
to your daughter in Florida.
I
I
will.
wish her the best. Let me thank the people of Revere, and especially our service people all overseas. God bless them all. God bless you, Patty, and our great country, the United States of America. Until the next time, thank you for listening. And I hope we have another great guest like you on here.
Thank you,
for
Morris.
coming.